Good evening. We'd like to begin our June meeting with pledge to the flag, please. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, if everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes and operating statements from last month, and we line for a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the May operating statements, May 27th, 2024 council meeting minutes, June 10th, 2024 work session minutes, and Quantum's financial statements for May 2024.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second that.
Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those, motion's carried. Okay, under mayor's report, I don't have a lot going on this, well, we do, but we don't, but conference is coming up next week. Tonight or tomorrow morning, I will be voting online for the officers for next year for MML. We do it online now, so we don't have to do it down there unless they're not there, and then they have it in person, but they started, I guess, 2 years ago having online voting, which makes it a lot easier. Don't have to stand down there in the line when the morning comes. A couple of the meetings that are coming up, one of the ones that I think is one of the seminars they're having this year is on ethics. Everybody, if you hadn't had it, y'all try to take that because we are exempt from ethics right now, but I can see in the future everybody's going to have to do this. With our population, we're exempt, but next year is election year, and if you take any donations or anything for election, for anything, you got to make sure you got all that stuff wrote down, where it came from and what you spent money on. And not that we have to do that for the town election, but if somebody would ask you for it, and I'm almost sure with meetings that we've had with the new Carroll County Times people, that's going to be a question that's going to come up. They're going to ask for, and I know last time they asked what people spend on the election, the town elections, things like that. So just, if you haven't had ethics class before, try to take it or take it online so you know what's going on. The emerging management class they have down there, that's a good class, but if your schedule's busy, don't worry about it because Carroll County, they're taking a lot that they have off of Carroll County because Carroll County for years has had some of the best emerging management things going on throughout the state. So now they do have this new state program. They finally got it to be one of the committees at MML, but a lot that they're doing came from Carroll County. So we've got a really good program in Carroll County. So we'll try to keep that going. And then we have a budget amendment to take care of. And if, Laura, if you wouldn't mind reading that, because my eyesight gets a little blurry after I get to doing it for a little while. If you don't mind, please.
So the budget amendment fiscal year 23-24, amend fiscal year 23-24 budget to transfer funds as listed below to cover equipment expenditures, street maintenance expenses, and to increase fiscal year 23-24 budget by $27,832 to cover costs associated with the inflow and infiltration field investigations, making total revenues and expenditures for fiscal year 2023 to 2024 budget $1,170,533. And we need a motion. Sorry, I guess you should have said that part.
I'll make a motion that we amend the fiscal year 23-24 budget as Laura just explained.
I'll second it.
Okay. Are there any questions?
Laura.
Laura. Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Noes, motion's carried. Okay. You want to take care of that, that's something that has to be done. Okay, upgrade funds for renewal for 6-month treasury bill, and I think, Dawn, you have that?
You
You wanna-
want me to read?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
The town's treasury bill matured on May 30th, 2024. The current account balance is $5,338,388.07. I recommend that we place the funds back in a 6-month treasury bill,
So moved.
which is in A, C, and B.
Okay,
So moved.
we have a motion
Seconded.
and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Noes, motion's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, and I talked to Brett and I talked to Dawn today. We have, our John Deere mower that we have is in, the mower the engine itself runs good, but the mower on it is in pretty bad shape. You can't get parts for it anymore. It's a mower that we bought from the Union Bridge Fire Company several years ago. They put some patches over to keep stuff coming up through the deck so it wouldn't hit the person that's operating it. And so we had a very good opportunity to get a good used commercial mower that only has 400 hours on it. It's like a $12,000 mower we can get for $7,500. And I told the people we would not be able to do anything about the payment on it until after the new budget, when we could amend the budget again and bring it up and amend the budget. It's something that, it's a good price on the mower. It's got 400 hours on it. It's a good commercial mower, and it's something we're going to need. So it's the council's wishes on that. I talked to Brett about it. He said his uncle's got, it's a Ferris, I think. It's a 61-inch deck on it. It's a very good mower. It's a 0-turn. It's a really good price on the mower. So, but I told the people we would not be able to make any payment or pay for it or anything until after the fiscal year, and we amended our budget again. So what's the council's wishes?
I think it sounds like a good idea.
If it's needed. I make a motion that we buy the commercial mower when it's feasible.
I'll second it.
Okay, which one are you going to run it?
I can, I mean, I will.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Those, okay, thank you. That's all I have for now. We'll go with Mandy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick update on PFAS. They are moving towards looking at settlement, which means that they are updating the test results for everybody's wells, and unfortunately Dawn was dealing with that today they have us on a time crunch, even though we already answered these questions and we told them that the samples were combined. Now they're asking for new samples, so she's dealing with that right now.
I went out, left it a little after 3, probably 3:30, to send it to FedEx Shipment Center to overnight it to California.
So it takes about 10 days to get those results back, and we should know where we fall in that time.
So the numbers in the CCR aren't good enough for them?
Nope.
Because they're split out. I mean, it listed PFOS, PFOA.
Yeah,
It's because they're joining the wells together.
the samples were
The
combined.
samples are with the wells together.
They have to be individual. Even though they knew about this, what, about 6-7 months ago?
Yes, they did, and they
Yeah.
waited till the last minute, and then having us run around like we're nuts.
Yeah. So, but it's moving towards, us getting some figures at this point, but unfortunately, we're having to deal with that. And then I know that there was some discussion at the work session about the election requirements. So I know that has been changed, so we won't be moving forward tonight, but next month we will. But because of the changes that are made, it's not going to be, we're in that much of a time crunch as we were before
Right.
to get them
Okay.
done.
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
that's everything for me.
Thank you. Okay. Kevin McGinnis, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a minute since I've seen everyone. I have April 22nd through June 17th here, so I guess I missed between April 22nd and in May in there. So it's good to see everyone. I was out of town then, but glad to be back. Between April 22nd and June 17th, the Carroll County Sheriff's Office responded to 118 calls for service within the town of Union Bridge. Out of those calls for service, 8 were found to be reportable. On 4/22/24 at approximately 3:15 a.m., a hit-and-run accident was reported at the Union Bridge Post Office. The post office reported the incident after they observed the damage, and the rear awning had structural damage as a result. This case is still open pending further investigation. They believe this was an Amazon truck or similar overnight shipment. It wasn't like an outside job or anything like that. They believe it was all with their shipment. On 5/1/24 at approximately 1 p.m., a child was observed running around unclothed and unattended in the area of Lightner Street and East Broadway Street. The child's guardian was notified and responded, and a report was filed to CPS. This isn't the first time we've dealt with a similar incident to this with the same exact family. That's all I'll say regarding that nature. On 5/11/24 at approximately 7:33 p.m., a malicious destruction of property was reported on South Farquhar Street. Juveniles were found to have knocked on the complainant's siding, which resulted in minor dents, and the complainant wanted no formal action taken. Just a reminder to everyone, juveniles are going to be out more and more, especially with school being out now, and just a reminder to lock your car doors because they do go through them as well, at least through my training, knowledge, and experience. And then on 5/21/24 at approximately 9 a.m., a police information report was filed in the area of East Thomas Street and Ladiesburg Road. A town employee was cutting the grass in the area when a resident became upset and began to harass town employees. This situation resolved after deputies responded. I hope that was, I know a couple are familiar with that incident in the room, and I hope that was all alleviated.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't the one that responded to that one, but hope that was all taken care of appropriately. On 5/31/24 at approximately 1:27 p.m., a dumping complaint was reported at the Union Bridge Community Center. The subjects were observed on camera dumping between 5/25/24 and 5/31/24 numerous times. I believe it was a total of 4 times. This case is still open pending charges. We have a few suspects. We're just waiting to do interviews and try and figure out which way the fingers get pointed. On 5/31/24 at approximately 2:21 p.m., a theft of a town camera was reported in the area of the tennis courts. An anti-theft cable was cut, and the camera was stolen. This likely happened between 5/12/24 and 5/14/24. That's believed to be unrelated to the previous incident. However, it's not to rule out that they did it as well. On 6/3/24 at 8:31 p.m., a landlord reported damage to their property in the area of North Main Street. A door lock was smashed. However, neither of the tenants were home. This building was checked with negative results of the tenants, and the door was resecured. One of the tenants was actually in our custody at the detention center. On 6/15/24 at 5:38 p.m., a fraud was reported in the 200 block of East Elver Street. The victim reported that a Facebook ad indicated property for rent on Harney Road. When a security deposit was placed, the suspect requested more money to allegedly secure the lease. The victim had not seen the property yet, and it was later found to be a fraudulent ad. So keep an eye out if somebody maybe questions you about maybe a lease in town and it doesn't seem legitimate. I mean, it's probably a fake ad people are putting up to try to fish for money. So that's another scheme that they're coming up with now. Again, wanted to remind everybody that the crisis helpline phone number is 410-952-9552. The Carroll County Mobile Crisis Team is open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. And 988, dial that for immediate emotional support. Simply dial 988. You'll be in touch with a counselor that can help. Any further questions?
And you are participating with the food giveaway on Wednesday afternoon, right?
Yes, sir.
You took care of that for us at Elmer Wolf.
Jerry got me some flyers here because I did get an email earlier from who's the liaison?
Ed Singer, or?
Ed Singer. I did get an email with one of these earlier, but I'm going to try to stamp these throughout town. And I know, Amy, you have one for your business as well.
Yes, sir, I do.
So we'll try to get word out, and well, I see that nice community card coming along at the church as well. So hopefully we can get all the dots connected and really get to the people that need it. I mean, so I'm excited. I'll be there. And I'm
Ed
sure-
called me like a couple of weeks ago and wanted to know if I'd be there at 3 o'clock to help give out food, and so
That'd be
unless
great.
something happens, I'll plan on being there.
Yeah, I'll be there too. I'll open up a special assignment. well, hopefully I don't get any crazy calls that day, so that prevent me from being there, but, you know, fingers crossed, so. All right.
Okay.
That should conclude it.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, public comments and concerns.
I don't have any, but I'm reporting for Brad Rockwood. He just wanted me to pass on that he has nothing to report. So,
Well, I see they're still really busy with the rec council, though. There's a lot of stuff going on with them guys.
yeah, I'm not part of it anymore,
Yeah.
but he messaged me and said he wasn't gonna be able to make it to the meeting tonight if I would just report that there's nothing to report.
Well, they do have a lot of activities, and these, you know, a lot of these kids around, and parents saying there's nothing for them to do, but, I mean, there's a lot of different activities that they could be involved in. I mean, those rec councils between here and Tonytown are just absolutely busy all the time. Their
Parents
fields
have
are.
always said that for
Yeah.
years, even when I was on it. There's nothing for kids to do,
Yeah.
but yet, you know.
Well, it's a lot that the parents have to participate also to get them to and from, so that's the problem, so. And I mean, everybody up here has done that in their lifetime with their kids, so it's nothing new. We all did it, and, it's just, you know, nowadays, people have kids and they want the towns to raise their children for them, and shouldn't be that way. Okay, well, I guess we'll get started with committee reports. We'll start with Amy this evening.
I do. Between May 27th and June 17th, 2024, I have attended work sessions, council meetings, and the May Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, and as an exo official, and the Duck Derby. And I also talked to County Roads and State Highway about an alley in town that is a one-way and is being used incorrectly, and they have given suggestions, which the council did discuss and will discuss more. I have met with 3 agencies that are interested in helping out with Standing Together Against Addiction event, our Drug Awareness Expo, and our committee will meet in July to discuss the event time, place, and details.
And I should have a date by then when the fire company's gonna be available.
Okay.
They're working on that now, some dates.
I'll write that on my notes.
Okay.
On May 24th, I spoke with Master Deputy McGinnis regarding some issues in town. On May 29th, I spoke with Lita, our parking enforcement officer, regarding some parking issues. On May 29th, I spoke to Joy, who's the property manager at Shriner Court, regarding some issues. We're in the process of looking at the Shriner Court handbook and trying to update that, as it's a little bit old. And so I worked on editing and trying to revamp some of that same day. On June 5th, I received a text from a resident that a vehicle drove the wrong direction down the one-way alley next to her house and hit her wall, and I referred that information to Amy, who was in charge of streets. On June 11th, we had our first snow cones at the Square event. We served approximately 125 snow cones. I'd like to thank my volunteers who helped. We had a lot of volunteers, and the Union Bridge Fire Company for donating ice, which helped us save money. On June 11th, I talked to Ellen regarding a trailer that is parked on a town street that has exceeded the 4-hour limit. Lita chalked the tire, and the resident allegedly erased the chalk by the time Ellen went to ticket it. On June 12th, I left a message for Heidelberg Materials regarding the donation for National Night Out, which had been made out to and mailed to Dream Big. On June 13th, I attended the MML dinner in Mount Airy. On June 16th, I received a complaint from a resident regarding a neighbor being loud at all hours of the night, and I advised the resident to report it to the police so we can track it for nuisance violation ordinance. On June 17th, I spoke to Heidelberg regarding the misdirected donation, and they are working on sending a new check. And then today, I submitted a food permit to the health department for our next snow cone event in July, which is July 12th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Square.
Okay, thank you. Brett?
The Consumer Confidence Report for 2023 is now available online. You can get a hard copy here at the town office. Do we put them anywhere else, post office or anything going
In the post office, yeah.
there, so you can get them in the
And
post
also,
office?
it'll be on the newsletter, so the newsletter will be at the post office
Okay, so,
in July.
okay, so it'll be included with the newsletter. It's just snapshot of the drinking water for 2023 and the testing that was done for it. Get one every year. That's all.
Okay, thank you. And thank goodness we don't have to do, like they used to do, mail them out, because they were always in the trash can at the post office. People never even looked at them. When it said Town of Union Bridge, they never even took the paper off of them, and they were in the trash, so we don't have to mail them anymore.
Is there a link on the water bill?
Yes, and it was advertised in the newspaper on Saturday that it is ready, and you can go to our link and view it online, because we
Okay.
were approved by MDE to be able to do that.
Okay. You know, in Westminster, we didn't have to advertise. As long as it was on the link was on the water bill, that sufficed. Because advertising is expensive.
Yes.
We advertise every year that it's ready, yeah,
Huh.
and put the link in the paper.
Huh. Okay.
Still cheaper than mailing them out.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, much easier. Yeah, I always hated that.
Okay, Ellen?
Since everybody's already talked about everything I did, I don't need to say anything.
Oh, okay. Good. Sherry?
On May 20th, I attended the town council meeting. On June 1st, I attended Dream Big Union Bridge River Duck Derby and Jeep Show and Shine Festival, which was a huge success, bringing into our community over 1,000 spectators. A special thank you to the town of Union Bridge for allowing us to hold the event on the Donald D. Wilson Walking Trail, and to Donald Wilson for all his help in preparing the trail for the event. On June 10th, I attended the work session meeting. On June 12th, I received flyers for the United Way free food distribution program from Ed Singer, and I contacted Laura because I just thought, I knew Kevin was involved, so I thought there was a connection there, my bad. But anyway, Celine Stickle from Citizen Services had reached out to me, and Ed brought me flyers, so I gave them to Kevin. So they have been dropped off, so I did do that. And I dropped some off tonight at the food pantry. Kim White said to just drop them off there tonight, and I couldn't do it till after I got off work. 6/13, I attended the MML quarterly Frederick Carroll County meeting. Tonight, obviously, I'm attending the town council meeting, and we'll be attending the MML summer conference June 23rd through the 26th. And that's all I have.
Okay. It's kind of interesting, this year we have 3 people running for president-elect this year. Usually there's only 1 or 2. So it's 3 this year, so we really have to vote. I really have to decide which one I'm voting for. And then board of directors, usually it's anywhere from 15 to 18 people run for board of directors, and they made some changes to that this year. There's only 11 people running for 10 seats, so that makes that a little easier. And then, of course, they have some other committees and everything they're still asking people to volunteer for, and I told them back in January or December that I wasn't running for anything this year down there. I've done it long enough, running up and down the road, and I really enjoyed being on the legislative committee, but thank goodness this year we did a lot of it by virtual. The board of directors, I've been on that for many, many years, and that's running up and down the road, and I don't see very well at nighttime anymore and in heavy traffic, and I just didn't feel it was right for my wife to have to drive me up and down the road at nighttime, so I chose not to do that this year. So it's been about 20-some years been doing that, so. And MML is not the same as it used to be, so. But next week is the conference. It's going to be a good time. We'll see what's going to happen down there. The next thing I have here is our next work session. It will be July the 8th, and our next council meeting will be July the 29th. I guess they're the right dates. That's what I have here anyway, so. Anyone else have anything that we may have missed or forgotten? Okay, if hearing none, we're in line for adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Any questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you. We'll see you next month.